Last year, my beloved dog, Sea Legs, a black Labrador, died, leaving me and his little pal, Moose, heartbroken. This PK is for them and all dogs. To begin, fellows have sometimes wondered if I loved my dogs more than I loved them. Yeah, sometimes. Here's why. First, I love taking weird photographs with willing subjects, and dogs are naturals at playing straight man. When a human dresses strangely, dogs generally don't seem to care. They just hang out with you as usual, adding je ne sais quoi to the scene or nodding off in a sunbeam till you're done shooting. Mutts, by their genial nature, tend to encourage goofy behaviors in people. Sea Legs could tolerate a doily longer than any human I know. In fact, I can think of several people I'd never dream of laying a doily on, even if they asked me to. Maybe if they bartered, begged, forget it. Dogs, subjected to other meaningless indignities at the hands of humans, are considerate enough to pretend they find it interesting. When you suspend, for instance, that good old goddamn ball above their head for the umpteenth time when they'd much rather carry on napping. Dogs tend to tolerate other life forms more readily than the average Joe. For instance, with their feline friends, they'll accommodate one to a fault, knowing how a cat pal craves the feeling of power that comes with claiming the best half of the doghouse. Cat house, turf. Mutts enjoy zoning out with TV as much as any human couch spud, yet don't argue endlessly over which shows you'll watch together. If you're not particular, they do prefer ones featuring their own species, barking out warnings or encouragement to any dog that needs it. Dogs relish crowds and cacophony, horse droppings, even bagpipe music, and though focused on their four-legged fellows, they're sure to draw your attention at times to sights you might otherwise miss if you're dumbly, passively watching parades pass by. Look at that, phew! Canine pals look up to you, want to go where you go and do what you do, trying to follow your lead. Sometimes, of course, they'll miss the mark or have to settle for what works for them. Outhouses, for instance, were never designed for four-legged patrons. Piss on it, as my affable pooch would say. A dog friend almost always acts extremely interested in whatever you have to pontificate on, no matter how boring you sound to other people, though sometimes their attentiveness does tend to verge on the sarcastic if you weren't so absolutely sure of their true blue, good-natured stance. Mutts can appear on the outside as weird as you find yourself feeling at times on the inside. This can be comforting, helping you accept your own eccentricities, not to mention those of that fellow alien gazing up at you with unconditional trust and devotion. Most dogs will endure getting dolled up, wearing wee jackets you've spent a fortune on, or sporting rainbow scarves people exclaim over, "Isn't that cute?" when you're walking down the 101. Dogs keep their opinion of scarves to themselves, so the garments sometimes do go missing in action. Even when a puppy's had scary early times where they've longed for a guard dog of their own, sooner or later they drop their defenses when you lavish them with love. Then they lavish right back. Highly heartwarming, humbling, and easily capable of amazing you into tears. Dogs are extremely respectful of and tender towards certain citizens who are generally respectful and tender back, thus increasing everyone's joy. They seem to sense when someone is especially old, especially young, or simply vulnerable, without rubbing it in and making the person feel creepy or special. I've found that my canine companions love playing goofy games with guy friends. This game consists of a guy putting his foot down on a tennis ball, then moving the ball very slowly around while the dog concentrates on his every teeny tiny move. Part 2, the game continues till man and beast are satisfied. Then the ball is kicked and retrieved, beginning a new cycle. So, Even if a guy you really like expresses disappointment when you prefer your dog's company at times, these episodes of ecstasy can soothe and compensate. Like many other caregivers, dogs enjoy collecting priceless artifacts on walks to local beaches. They insist on showcasing their treasure du jour before stashing it somewhere for private dismemberment later. Discarded balls, half-gutted toys, and stinking bones are universal favorites. If their human becomes obsessed with planting inedible objects in the garden or some other meaningless task, dogs will gently entice the lamb who's gone astray with footballs and such, luring them into sorely needed playtime, refocusing the glorious day with minimal conflict. Dogs are fanatically curious about oddities found on field trips, and as long as nobody rolls in it, everyone can get a good long look-see, experiencing a sense of wonder over natural world, life and death events, the kind that really matter, that truly blow your socks off. At times, the human becomes convinced some mundane object is perfect to play with, when any dog with nostrils knows it's just plain cardboard. Yet a dog will go along with it, pretending you've unveiled an amazing playform touring just this once from some distant galaxy, here for a good time, not for a long time. Finally, dogs give advice that might sound crude if you didn't share their earthy sense of humor. The beauty of their wit is they don't keep you waiting till the cows come home for the punchline, and they think they're so funny you can't help laughing. Most of all, dogs always laugh with you, not at you. So thanks, moose and sea legs and dogs everywhere, and thank you.